Hey guys, so I encountered a great opportunity to kind of show you why I think that you guys learning engineering and learning how to modify materials and such around your house to be very valuable. I have a stand-up paddleboard, an inflatable paddleboard that is a bit old, and they don't make parts for it anymore. So I've run into a situation where my pump that I use for the paddleboard is getting a bit worn out, and it has several broken parts, and it's really not inflating that well anymore. So they don't make the pumps, an electric pump that will be sufficient for airing up that paddleboard. It doesn't have the right connectors, because since they have changed the way the connectors are on that paddleboard, this old connector here doesn't fit the new models, and the new hoses that they make don't fit my old model paddleboard. So I have embarked on the journey of figuring out how to modify this hose to fit onto this hose, which belongs to an electric pump that I already have. So this uses just a regular air valve that you'll find on your car tires and bike tires. So I have an adapter here that I can use to build my attachments. And other parts I will need is a rubber hose with some clamps, a coupling, some sealing tape, and some contact cement that I'm hoping I'm not going to need, because this makes the attachment permanent, and I'm hoping to be able to keep it removable. So this is the air valve, the air gauge that came with the pump. So this part comes off here, and this is the piece that we're going to be modifying. Let's get started. The plan. Oh, I forgot to mention this coupling here, this adapter that we're going to use to change the sizes. So the plan is to take this hose, fit it onto the end of this piece here, and fit this into the other side. This coupling will then screw onto here. This will screw into the coupling. And enable us to attach the electric pump. So with this attachment, we can plug everything in here, and this end will then attach to the paddleboard. So we would have a successful adaptation to allow us to continue to use the paddleboard, even though the old pump is no longer very useful. Okay, to help get the adapter into the hose a little easier, we're going to use some light lubricant. You can use Vaseline or any other kind of light lubricant here. I'm using some coconut oil. And this will just help the adapter to slide into the hose a bit easier. Okay. Now, at this point, since I already have a free end, I just slip the clamp onto the open end. And now we're going to tighten that down. Alright, and so we don't forget, once we get moving, we're going to go ahead and slide the other clamp on. Okay. Now we're going to attach the hose for the paddleboard, the end here, onto this rubber hose. But before we do that, we're going to have to remove the little notches here that hold the valves in place. One of them, since this thing is worn out pretty good, is already broken off. So I'm just going to use some wire clippers and kind of trim that other one off there. Go. So now I slide that into the hose. And fit the clamp on. So at this point, I'm trying to make this temporary, so that I can get this adapter off if I need to use it again. So I'm avoiding using the contact cement, which would make this attachment permanent. Once we get to testing it, we'll be able to find out whether or not this is going to hold up without the cement. Okay. So now we're going to attach our coupling. To do that, we'll wrap these threads in this sealing tape, and this helps to get a good solid seal between the adapter and the coupling. So that we don't have any air or any pressure escaping. Okay. And since your coupling screws on counterclockwise, you want to make sure that you wrap your threads counterclockwise so that you're not pushing the sealing tape off whenever you're screwing on the coupling. And we will do the same with the air valve. And then that will go into the coupling here. Okay. Now we have everything fully assembled, and we are ready to get the paddleboard and do some testing. So the air compressor I'm using attaches to my car battery, so forgive me if there's a bit of a noise. Right now I am reattaching the pressure gauge so I can tell how many PSI I am sending through and how full my paddleboard is going to be. So now I'm connecting the compressor to my adaptation rig, and the proprietary hose just connected and hooked up to the paddleboard. Now let's see how this goes. So there we go. We reached 20 PSI. The adaptation held up very well. The board is firmer than it has ever been before. So for about $20 worth of parts, I prevented having to spend several hundred on a new board. I hope you guys learned a little something, and maybe you'll be able to apply some similar adaptations to problems around your home. Good luck.